Hi, Medha.
Awesome. Hi, Pragya. Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too. Such a chilly morning.
Yeah, I love it. It's one of my favorite weathers.
So, I thought we should discuss the concept of sankalp. Since right now everybody's talking about like resolutions and affirmations, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about it and maybe see similarities between these two practices.
I think the idea of Sankalpa is so central to all our philosophies.
Yeah.
So I think Sankalpa is one of the most powerful tools
Okay.
to use.
So let's define sankalp.
So Sankalpa is very clearly an intention, right? Like uh, an intention that you want to nurture and inculcate into your life.
Hmm.
Now, there are all sorts of sankalpas. There are sankalpas for very small things, right? For example, you take a sankalpa just before food, saying, I hope that everything that I eat nourishes me. I hope everybody who brings me this food benefits from, the exchange. And I hope the whole world is a happier place because of this, right? When you're able to start anything with an intention, what happens is that now you very clearly understand what you're doing. You
Hmm.
now know that now it's time to eat, let's say in this example.
Hmm.
So intentions are like, especially sankalpas, are very, very important because it sort of marks boundaries between our actions, right? So many times there are so many actions that sort of go one on top of the other, and we don't know where one ends and where the other begins. And therefore there's a lot of confusion about both the actions that we've just done, right? But a sankalpa helps you like very clearly demarcate and sort of be more conscious of what you're doing,
Hmm.
right? So, but in this context, when we talk about sankalpa as a practice, a yogic practice by itself, what we start aligning towards is a sankalpa that can sort of direct your entire life. The grandest sankalpa that you can think of, where you're ridiculously ambitious about what you want and what you ask out of the universe,
Hmm.
right? So the bigger it is, the better it is.
Yeah. So that's similar to because if you look at a lot of the affirmation practices, like repeating a positive thought in your mind changes and rewires the way you think. It's very similar to this. There's so much similarity between this old Eastern idea and this modern Western, affirmations. That so, like everybody's now doing this, and it's nothing but sankalpa. Like it is nothing but that practice. That's the same philosophy.
Absolutely. What you really intend, sort of, you start working towards it on all levels.
Hmm.
And the more you can sort of reinforce this intention about what you truly want, then you start to involuntarily, on many levels, align towards what you seek.
And which is why we've made intention setting and affirmations and sankalpa such an integral part of the calendar this year. I think it's a practice that should not be underestimated, and it is a practice that everybody, even like 10 seconds a day, is great.
I think a lot of times when people think of affirmations or even sankalpa, they sort of think about replacing a negative thought with a positive one, right? Which in one sense is like suppressing what you are actually going through and sort of saying, no, 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 I'm not going to look at this part of the negativity that exists in my life. I'm just going to constantly sort of brush it away and look at what, like, the positive part of my life is. And that inherently doesn't work.
Hmm.
This is where a lot of people also have a lot of trust issues with the affirmations and sankalpas, right? Because if you sort of want to replace everything negative with something positive overnight,
Yeah.
because that's how our minds are wired, right? Like we want quick solutions, we want things to just start working. You do it like 2 days, and the third day you just want to be positive and like have no negative things in your life. That's not how this works. It is a very, very conscious decision to start aligning your life towards a particular intention. It's a decision,
Yeah.
it's a practice.
Right. Which is why it's so important to phrase, your sankalpa or your affirmations in the right way. So it has to be uh, positive. There cannot be anything which is negative. And I found in my experience when people have asked me to help them, write their affirmation, you can always see the tinge of negativity. Affirmations and sankalpa always have to be very positive.
I think another way to understand this is to sort of really just sit down and think about what we truly seek. I think that's where most of the people, I know that I had trouble doing that initially when I started this practice, saying, what do I really want? Can I sort of put it into words? Right? I know that there's something that I very desperately seek, but what is it?
Mm.
Is it something that I can put into words? Because the more you get clarity about what you want, then this entire positivity, negativity, polarity sort of shifts away. I think the fundamental reason we included this in the calendar to begin with is to sort of emphasize how much clarity can make a difference when you sort of take these sankalpas.
You're saying, okay, in your personal practice, in your practice of sankalp. So, just how did you come to the practice?
I've had a love hate with sankalpas for quite some time now. Officially, I started the practice of sankalpa when I started my yoga nidra practice, and sankalpa is a very very integral part of yoga nidra. But as I studied it more and more, I realized that it's so it is sort of there in everything that we do. Like you wake up in the morning, and in my house, when my parents wake up in the morning, they wake up and sort of pray to God, which is a sankalpa. Before they go to sleep, they have this small mantra that they say that is a sankalpa. For me, it was ritualistic before, and it eventually transformed into a practice. What that means is that there was a lot of me that sort of attached to the practice of sankalpa, and that made a lot of difference, right? Because I started finding the words that resonated with me. And I think that when that shift happened with my sankalpa, that's when a lot of things started to make sense for me. It doesn't mean that I don't have bad moods, or I don't like get angry, or any of those things. It has the power to sort of shake you up when you're feeling emotional and sort of say, okay, where's your anchor in this, right? And I think that kind of a check is very very powerful as you go through life.
It's very similar to affirmations. When you wake up and you look at a set of statements, throughout the day, your actions are toward, like, sort of directed towards, that statement, those set of statements. And in the night, when you revisit these affirmations, you sort of, you can sort of analyze or reflect, how much am I on the path that I would like to be on. And sometimes there are realizations also where you think, okay, I don't really want this. There's certain affirmations, there's certain things that you want to manifest in your life, that you want in your life, and eventually you think, no, this is not really that important to me. So what are some things that people can do, like if they want to practice good sankalp?
I think, see, one of the most important things that is very difficult to understand as a beginner to the practice of sankalpa is to understand that the sankalpa or affirmations, both are the same, in my opinion, are not action oriented, right? Like it's not that I will lose I don't know 10 kgs in like this year, or like anything that, or I will stop eating sugar or things like that, right? Like it's not a physical action, it's a mental action, it's an action of attitude.
An example, and people, instead of saying I will lose 10 kgs, I will lose 15 kgs, a great sankalp is that I will nourish myself with
Yeah,
healthy food. Like so
yeah,
that's an attitudinal shift towards nutrition, towards nourishment, and like towards food. Which, when you say I will lose 10 kgs, that becomes the enemy. But when you say that,
yeah.
yeah, I want, healthy food, then there's it's a more approachable, it's a more friendly approach to food. Yeah.
Thing is that if we can sort of answer what we want instead of what we don't want, it's an easier way to take a sankalpa. If you start to really connect with the sankalpa, what happens is that you will start seeing that you noticed one part of your life that needed to be fixed, but then you start to notice the others also, and you actually start working towards it as well.
Yeah. Okay, so that's great. That's one thing. Like, instead of looking at making it action oriented, look at how you can change your attitude towards the thing that you want. Okay, that's one thing. That's great. What are some other, let's talk about maybe two other ways to set great sankalpa or great affirmations.
The other one was what I want, answering the question, what do I want versus what do I not want? What do I want to eliminate? So you eliminate the eliminating question and answer the question about what you want.
Great. Yeah. I think something that has really helped me with affirmations is to actually write it down. Like, sometimes people say, "Oh, I keep it in my mind. I haven't written it down." But I feel that it's important to write things down, whether it's physically, pen and paper, or on the phone, like a notepad on the phone, because that's where you actually see what you want. That's where the clarity comes in. And over time, you can actually see what you've scratched out. You can actually analyze what you're thinking.
I know some people sort of print it out and put it next to the mirror. And so the moment they wake up, they look at it. Some people sort of do this repetition, whether it's in the mind or whether it's writing. So, like, some people actually write down their sankalpa and write it like 108 times a day or whatever else, right? So they do that. Some people repeat it with every practice that they do. They're chanting, they start with a sankalpa, end with a sankalpa. If they're doing yoga nidra, they start and end with a sankalpa. With asana, they start and end with a sankalpa. So, like, you can do practically anything that you find resonance with,
Right,
but
right.
it's important to resonate.
Resonate with it, yeah. And also like the repetition aspect.
It's not just once in the year kind of
Yeah.
thing. It is as many times in the day as possible kind of practice.
Very different from New Year's resolutions, which we come
Yeah.
in Jan and then we come back in December. So yeah, I think that's what makes it different from resolutions. Like, it's not a New Year resolution.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's nice.
There's just one last tip that I'd like to give. So this sankalpa or affirmation doesn't have to be in English. I think the easiest way to express ourselves is in the language that we've grown up with. The idea is to make it intensely personal.
Yeah.
And the shorter the sankalpa, the better.
If you have any questions for us, just leave a comment or reach out to us.
Having said that, I think it's important to know that since sankalpas are intensely personal, we can only give opinions. Ultimately, the work has to be done by you.
So yeah, so if you guys have any questions, let us know. And yeah, we look forward to hearing from you.
Yes.
All right. Okay, Medha.
Good luck with your sankalpas. Have a fabulous year.